Hail Hydra! What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live this morning at 9:01 in the morning on this, the 25th day in the year of our Lord Steve the Cat, 2023. It is Yom Kippur, the closing of the new year if you are a fellow Jew. So time to atone for your sins, set the past year aside, and start a brand new year. And how do we start the brand new year this morning? By looking at all the tabletop role-playing game freebies, sales, and charity bundles. That's right. Which means, as always, I must remind you again that these are digital bundles and not actual physical product. So if you purchase the Dungeon Crawl Classic Mega Bundle for $75 and don't get the dice, that's because the dice are a physical product that they're shipping you later on. You cannot digitally send people dice. It's funny that people, you would think like, oh, OGGM, you're being silly. Nobody would think that. And I look back at you and go, really? Have you met humanity? And because these are digital product that you will be installing into your compositor, especially if you're getting the VTT stuff, I highly recommend that you check the product for viruses and malware. Because yes, even in the year 2023, that kind of shit still happens. Now, in regards to the charity bundles, perhaps if there's a charity you want to give money to, just bypass the bundle and give the money directly to the charity. That goes especially for the ones for like people who are looking to help pay for medical bills. Bypass the bundle. Just go to the GoFundMe or in the case of Gizmo, the dog that's looking for help, just donate money to the vet. Unless you really, 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 really want everything on the bundle. Been doing this, for like 3 years now? Still haven't gotten in trouble for it? Okay, well, starting up with our freebies for the week from Drive-Thru and DM's Guild, we've got some free stuff for the brand new Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. It's a Enter Hydra adventure. Hail Hydra! I was always a fan of AIM. Maybe because, Cobra, Hydra, Thrush, Spectre, they're all the same group. AIM was cool. They all dressed in giant, great yellow beehive costumes, and they experimented with bizarre technology like shark guns. So, yeah, I always liked AIM. Hydra just felt like, they're ninjas, but they're also Nazis, but it's Cobra. If you're familiar with the video game Disco Asylum, RPG James View has released a game called Mythcralla, where you basically play the same character as in Disco Asylum, but you play multiple characters who are all amnesiac investigators who are all investigating the same thing. And the more that they do stuff, the more they have the ability to remember. How is that an entire role-playing game? Everybody is playing a character who's an amnesiac, or one person's playing the amnesiac and the other players are playing characters that help the amnesiac? Or is it like everybody is John, where each player character plays one of the personalities of the amnesiac fighting for control? It sounds like a solo journaling RPG. Weird Age Games has released a game about VTubers called V-Killer. This is, of course, making fun at the recent events at the most recent VTuber convention, VibeCon, where 3 days of fun and VTuber excitement happens, but then there's also a murder. Wow, sounds a lot like something I wrote. Sounds exactly like something I mean, wow, that just totally sounds like the thing I wrote about the murder at the convention. I mean, you could give this, I don't know, you just don't go pick up my copy of Bad Guys Always Lose, which has the exact same adventure in it. Anyways, yes, if you'd like to play a VTuber at VibeCon trying to investigate a murder, here's a role-playing game for you. Let's see. Midnight has released some VTT maps for shops. So if you need a map for, say, a bakery shop in your store, you can now have a VTT map of it. There's an OSR adventure inspired by people trying to find missing artwork called The Adonis. This comes to us from Low 505. It's an OSR-inspired rule set where players are seeking missing artistic masterpieces, specifically the missing artistic masterpieces of Donatello. Yes, there was an actual artist called Donatello. He's not just a turtle. So this whole game is basically you're trying to locate one missing piece of art. That's not a game. That's an adventure for a larger campaign. We've got some love for my favorite retro clone, DCC. This one is called Prison of the Forsaken Bear God. It comes to us from the DCC people, Slash and Bite Minis, and it deals with a cult who worship bears. And apparently it's an adult content title, so there might be some tongue-in-cheek commentary on the bear sex in Baldur's Gate. Shadowdark's getting some love. Realm Scribe has released an expansion for Shadowdark called Making Magic, an RPG Shadowdark crafting system that lets you create your own magic items and randomly generate new items, because I guess they felt Kelsey didn't cover that enough. See, I love that Kelsey's getting support. I'm sure sooner or later Kelsey's going to start getting the "What have you done lately, Kelsey?" nonsense from those people who don't like her. You know, I don't know if I want Shadowdark to have more stuff. The whole point of Shadowdark and Castles and Crusades to me was that it, you know, everything you needed was there. You know, we didn't need splat books, you know, and then finding out there's so many splat books for Castles and Crusades kind of sort of made me go, well, great, then how's this different than AD&D or 3rd edition? Just splat books and new character classes and just, you know, same thing with Shadowdark. Shadowdark was supposed to be complete on its own. Everything I need. But now people are coming out with expansions and new rules and new classes to Shadowdark. It's like, well, then it doesn't really feel like Shadowdark anymore. It kind of just feels like AD&D or 3rd edition. Look at all our splat books. At which point I'm like, that already exists. Why do I need a new game that does the exact same thing? Rune Foundry has a 5e adventure called Tremor at Yawning Canyons, which sends 4th level adventurers to investigate a cause of an earthquake. You know what causes earthquakes? The plate tectonics shifting. But since this is Dungeons & Dragons, it could be something a little bit more insidious. We've got another adventure from Rune Foundry called Songs of the Estranged, which deals with evil bards, evil music boxes, and the realm of Fae. We've got a game called Dungeons and Deep Dish, a pizza RPG from Wesley Coos, which talks about, of course, adventurers who decide to give up the life of adventuring and open up a pizza parlor. This, again, of course, is commenting on the whole Strixhaven is all about playing employees at Starbucks, because there was that adventure about people who are employees at Starbucks based upon some commentary that was in Strixhaven. Nobody bothered to take the time to realize that the guy who'd written the adventure about the player characters working at Starbucks was making a joke, which is sort of all led us all into this whole cottage core comfy role-playing. I want to play a role-playing game where I'm role-playing a guy who has a normal life working at Starbucks. Why don't you just get a job at Starbucks? You know? We've got a random pirate ship table from Heretical Hedgehogs. This is on DM's Guild. So if you need to randomly generate pirate names, here's a table. You could just do it. Zardock the Dave has created a light RPG about Star Trek type stuff. It's called Warp Fleet. It is a minimal dice system trying to embrace the whole trek across the stars sci-fi genre, and it's free. Old School RPG is back with another Cephas engine adventure for their take on Traveler. This one is called Gate, and it's about investigating a mysterious structure in their Traveler universe. Ryan May has released a Missing Antiquian, an introductory mystery for Vossen. This is an adventure for Free League's Nordic horror RPG Vossen, where the player characters have to go and recover a missing individual who's possibly been kidnapped. If you have picked up Fendelver and Below from the shelves and need a little extra Fendelver and Below semi-official content, RJ Stanley has released the Festival of Faces, a 6-page prologue of adventure that introduces the town of Fendelin and everything that leads up to the events of Fendelver and Below. So I guess it takes place someplace time before the initial run Fendelver, Mines of Fendelver adventure, and then 14 years later we have the sequel to the Mines of Fendelver adventure. But you could also run Fendelver and Below as a standalone for people who didn't go through it the first time. Brand new characters experiencing that adventure for the first time, and then continuing forward with the inevitable conclusion that was been hinted at for the past 14 years. Well, now this guy has said, hey, there might have been things that happened in that town before you got there, because of course there was. The town just suddenly exists because player characters showed up. So giving life to this town of Fendelver before and after the events of the adventure, never a bad thing. Over at Dungeon Masters Guild, we've got John Dink has posted Haunted Home Crick, a Halloween one-shot. Brit has released a 5e adventure about orcs called Orcs Bloodlust. And finally, in time for Halloween, we've got some new love for Vampire the Masquerade over at the Storyteller's Vault called Lex Noctis. Lightning round time, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 new subclasses for 5e, and 1, 2, 3, 4 new monsters for 5e. These are all on DM's Guild. In the free section, they are all technically, officially RPG products that you can use with Wizards of the Coast. They are technically approved. They are technically okay. And all the DM's Guild product will remain technically official Wizards of the Coast 5e product at least till February of next year. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but if you're somebody who is in the Adventurers Guild, that is very important news. Moving on to the bundles, we have the new creator bundle from Itch.io. This one is 10% off. It's just called the Creator Bundle. It features about 87 new items, all about RPG, micro RPG, solo journaling RPGs, and stuff like that. You know what a solo journaling RPG is, right? Of course, because I talk about this every week. It's a creative writing cramp and a folder from the 99 Sister. This week's theme at Drive-Thru theme of the week is pirates. That's right. Dinosaur Jungle Pirate Island. So we've got a ton of stuff that is pirate themed this week. And also we've got a ton of stuff that's cyberpunk themed this week. So yeah, double header. If you're looking for some cyberpunk love, you got that. If you're looking for some pirate love, you got that. Featuring, of course, a lot of Freeport stuff. Yeah. Two of my favorites, Cyberpunk and Freeport. We've got some love for Mork Borg from Jeremy Hart. We've got a collection of Mork Borg Monstro cards. This is a bundle of cards. It's $5. Of course, then you'd still have to print them out on cardstock to use them, at which point I don't know if it's no longer worth $5, probably worth like $15 or $20, at which point you should just buy the solid copy of the cards. We've got a collection of companions for 5e. This is collections of magic spells, monsters, other stuff and like that. It's over at DM's Guild. It's $10. Yeah, so if you're looking for some new 5e stuff to pad your 5e resume that is technically official, you could pick this up for $10. And finally, charity bundles. Rogue Genius Games is running a charity bundle to support our friend Owen K. Steffens and his continuing medical bills. This is $40 to get 350 products from multiple members of the tabletop role-playing game community. Or you could just go to Owen's GoFundMe and give the money directly to. And speaking of Charity fundraisers. We've also got the charity fundraiser for Gizmo, the dog, with his ongoing medical issues from Sleepy Sasquatch Games. It's $20, gets you every product that Sleepy Sasquatch has made. It goes directly to Gizmo, or you could just donate the money directly to Gizmo's veterinarian. Bundle of Holding has a Lovecraft bundle by Robin D. Laws. This is all based around the Yellow King RPG. 19th century Paris and an alternate universe where we've got normal history plus Cthulhu. So if you're looking for some Cthulhu, Lovecraft, Yellow King horror alt history, this is available for $18. It all goes to cancer research. We've got the Cephras Engine bundle for their new game Hostile. This is everything that's been released for Hostile so far. It is a Cephras Engine Traveler horror combination. This is $10. It's direct relief. We've got a Delta Green Core Rules bundle. This is $8. It's direct relief. It's pretty much all the core rules ever written for the Delta Green setting. And then we've got the Assist bundle. This is all the documents, handouts, adventures, and everything else that has been written. It is $18, again, direct relief. We've got a huge Shadowrun bundle. $18 is the most popular pledge, including everything that has ever been written in the Shadowrun fictional universe. So this is every Shadowrun novel, comic book, whatever that's ever been written in the past 20 years or however long Shadowrun's been around, all digitized, all available to you for $18. It goes to support the Legal Defense Fund. We've got some more Lovecraft love. This one is the Trial of Cthulhu bundle from Pellegrin Press. And this releases everything that they've made in their Lovecraftian RPG Trial of Cthulhu. $18 gets you the entire 21 titles, plus a music, and it goes to support cancer research. And that is it for this week. Do any of those bundles sound like something you want to run out and grab? If you haven't picked up the copy of the Marvel MCU Multiverse game yet, and you want to take a look at it, the Hail Hydra is probably your best bet. You could take a look at the rules and how the system works for free before you decide to spend the money on it. Other than that, nothing really stands out this week. So, at which point, I would probably take a moment to tell you that instead of spending your money on that stuff, you could take 1/10 of what you would have spent over there, head on over to my shop over at the Red Room and buy my merch for far less and get far more action and adventure and fun. We've got the Wretched Vigilantes core rules marked down to $9. We've got the first supplement for Wretched Vigilantes, Bad Guys Always Lose, marked down to, I think, $6. And, of course, we've got the Hammetville Halloween special and Wretched Minions issue number 1, all available at the Red Room. Links down below. Buy my merch. Have a great day. Talk to you later. See ya.